It's a fine day in the free trade city with the market bustling, until a mentally unhinged veteran, Jack Strader, suddenly trashes around. Cecily Campbell, an enthusiastic red-headed knight, interferes, wielding her House of Campbell sword. However, she's too weak to combat the veteran. Luckily for her, a skilled blacksmith, Luke Ainsworth, defeats Jack through his katana. Before she can thank him, he insults her skills as a knight and leaves. After the incident, Cecily looks for new swords, but she's impressed by the katana and makes up her mind. She reaches Luke's home where he lives with his assistant, Lisa, a yellow-headed elf. However, Luke refuses, saying he only forges for himself. As they quarrel, a loud blast is heard from outside the city. Soldiers attempt to contain three wolf-like monsters controlled by a mysterious black-cloaked man. With Luke and Lisa, Cecily arrives at the scene and is bewildered to see the soldiers lying around. Being a devoted knight, Cecily steps ahead and is again saved by Luke, who slays the monsters. Their victory is short-lived as a massive ice monster forms before them. Luke orders Lisa to take Cecily back, but Cecily is determined to show him her knight skills and persuade him to forge her a katana. As Cecily distracts the monster, shielding from ice crystals using her breast armor, Luke, together with Lisa, develops a brilliant katana. Luke's brilliantly forged katana glows red with heat. He steps forward as the ice monster changes his form to a bulging figure with wings and skillfully slays it. Victory. However, his katana crumbles as those made with magic are limited. Cecily starts excitedly promising him reward. At the meeting hall, Houseman, the head of the trade city, waits for Luke with the diplomats complaining. One of them brings up the topic of the demons appearing outside the city earlier. If the seal of Albanil is broken, the world will crumble. Seeing that someone had performed the banned Devil's contract, its possibility is threatening. For this, they must acquire the Holy Sword. Outside the city, Cecily's commander, Hannibal Caesar, observes the scene and talks to a captured bandit. The bandit tells of the cloaked man and how he turned his boss into a demon. Suddenly, a monster erupts from his mouth, but Hannibal slays it. The mysterious man had forced a devil contract onto a human. Due to Cecily pressing him, Luke agrees to her, but immediately retracts, saying she reminded him of someone. However, Cecily is adamant, so Luke puts a ridiculous price on it, irritating her. Back at work, Cecily complains to her friend Patty about Luke when Hannibal comes in. Seeing the sensitivity of situations, Houseman and Hannibal have decided to give her a special mission. Cecily is on a mission to guard the magic sword and is bewildered to meet Arya, the blade itself in the form of a girl. Back at Luke's, Arya giggles, seeing Cecily and Luke bicker cutely. Luke asks Arya to show them how she's the magic sword. Winds engulf as Arya mutters, "Kill God," and transforms into a sword that can produce a slicing current. Later, Cecily, Arya, and Lisa enjoy a feast, where Lisa accidentally reveals that Luke has been looking for a sword that can slay a god. Back at home, Luke gazes out the window. His fate made him come across Arya, the sword he's been looking for. Somewhere in prison, the prisoners are overcome by a strange trance and strength, and escape heading towards the city. Meanwhile, the girls are at the office as Patty brings them Cecily's sword for the time being. Reginald, a soldier, enters and insults Cecily for only using her blade to protect and not kill. As they argue, the emergency bell rings. The prisoners attack the city. Cecily is told to stay back and protect Arya. However, Arya encourages her and she heads out, coming across Jack Strader and the Mysterious. Before she can reach them, a prisoner appears and she fails, unable to kill a human. Reginald comes in time, finishing the job and calling her a coward. Arya, however, supports Cecily's good heart. At some isolated location that night, the mysterious man applauds Jack. He tells him that he'll save him, setting him up for an attack in the city. Arya wakes up to find Cecily practicing. She then, mechanistically, wishes she had a master like Cecily, for anyone who wielded her only slew and not protected. Cecily relentlessly asks to become hers, and friendship sprouts between them. Unknown to her, Houseman and Hannibal plan to lure out the mysterious man by making Cecily present the Arya, the magical demon sword, in public. Upon knowing, Cecily feels terrible for her new friendship with her and consults Luke, who says he'd fight with his life for his friend in such a situation. Later, sadly, she informs Arya. However, she gives Arya her full support. At the exhibit, Cecily presents Arya, and it's not too late before Jack is spotted among the crowd. He bursts into a flaming demon. As planned, the Spirit Prayer Squad attempted to suppress it to no avail. The monster manages to get a hold of Arya, and Cecily, miserably heartbroken, begs Luke for help, offering her body in return. Luke forges his katana and goes for the strikes, making the demon lose Arya. Cecily musters up all her will, and holding Arya, slays the flaming monster and human Jack Strader. Lisa compels Luke into forging a katana for Cecily, saying she's kind and beautiful with a big bust, making Luke go red and agree. To Cecily, he maintains to ask for the price. At lunch, Luke explains the Devil Contract, which uses human flesh and blood to turn humans into irreversible demons. The demon contract requires death words inscribed in everyone's heart, retrieved in horrible ways. For this reason, they were banned. After lunch, the girls help Lisa with laundry as Cecily mouths about Luke being hard on Lisa and decides to go take her shopping. While Lisa is busy in the market, Cecily lectures Luke to take good care of Lisa. They take Lisa to try on clothes and have a good time. Lisa's life being ordinary makes her feel quite unusual having fun. However, Cecily comforts her. Lisa steps out in her new outfit to find Cecily and Arya gone, with Luke waiting outside. Blankly, Luke doesn't even compliment her, and they both leave for home. Unknown to them, Arya and Cecily stalk them quietly. Cecily keeps getting infuriated to see Luke's behavior towards Lisa. In her fit of anger, she loses sight of them. On their way home, Lisa keeps trying to make small talk with Luke. However, he keeps giving one-word replies. Suddenly, she stops and straightforwardly asks him about her outfit. Luke turns and quietly puts a matching hat on her head, making her burst into happy tears. Cecily and Arya are encountered by a peculiar group of 3 girls attacking to steal Arya. However, to their bewilderment, one of the girls, Doris, revealed her sword as the demon sword of Earth, slashing the ground through. Meanwhile, Luke and Lisa are visited by Charlotte E. Fyrobisher, a spoiled child with imperial blood, and Yvonne, the Black Flame demon sword. Charlotte declares to take Luke by force and that her minions are already attacking Cecily and Arya. With Yvonne, she tries to stop Luke, however, the katana overpowers her, and he drags her along to save Cecily. Doris is now joined by her other 2 friends, Penelope and Margot, with 2 other demon swords, the swords of Light Ray and Magic Sword Slayer. They soon overpower Cecily as she falls to the ground. However, Luke arrives in time, saving Cecily once again. The 4 girls are taken to the Houseman and Hannibal, still persistently asking for the blacksmith, Luke and Arya, to be handed over to them. Charlotte produces a dagger-like sword, claiming it was given to her by her mother, the Emperor, making her a child with imperial blood. However, the Empire exiled her mother. She wishes to restore her mother's honor by taking the blacksmith, Luke and Arya, to be accepted back into the kingdom. Houseman turns her down, but takes the sword to verify with the Empire, and asks Charlotte to wait for the reply. She decides to stay with Cecily, leaving her furious and making significant expenses on her tabs. Charlotte and the girls arrive at Cecily's, expecting to be given noble treatment. However, Theo, the Campbell's housemaid, a fiery woman, makes them work for the length of their stay. Not even Cecily is spared. Meanwhile, Luke and Lisa are running errands outside when Luke comes across the site where Cecily combated the girls. He wonders why he's helping Cecily. Coincidentally, Cecily in a maid outfit runs into him, sending her beet red and, once again, punching him hard. At Cecily's, the girls seem to be banding together, leading Charlotte to reveal her mother's death. Slowly, Cecily starts feeling for a mother-deprived child, just wishing to be accepted. Charlotte also becomes closer to Madame Lucy, Cecily's mother, spending her time with her and feeling happier. The girls start feeling more at home. As Cecily practices, Arya asks her to take her to see the demon swords and meets Yvonne. Frustratingly, she asks Yvonne to tell her why they're able to transform into human forms. Yvonne's only reply is that time will tell. Shaken at heart, Charlotte seeks comfort in Madame Lucy and asks her what she should do: restore her mother's honor or live happily. Madame Lucy tells her that her mother would want her to live happily, and that's her advice. The next day, Charlotte is given the Empire's reply. It declares them as criminals to be handed over for presenting a fake sword and stealing the original, completely disowning poor Charlotte. Ooh. Cecily stands up for the girls, saying that it's evident that the Empire has lied and that she won't allow them to be handed over. But it's not too long before the Empire's army comes to the city's door. Houseman and Hannibal give Charlotte the option to flee to the garrison state. However, they must provide Garrison with all their information on the Empire. Charlotte and the girls refuse to sell the kingdom out and leave disappointed. At Luke's, Arya and Cecily discuss the matter with him and Lisa. Lisa pointed out that if it were her, no matter the place, she'd be happy as long as she had her friends. Hearing this, Cecily comes to a resolution. Unbeknownst to them, Doris, Margot, and Penelope, determined to get Charlotte accepted and happy, revert to their original plan: steal Arya and Luke. However, Cecily intercepts them, wielding Arya in hand. As the rain rages outside, Cecily combats the girls to a defeat. Soon Charlotte comes to the chaos. However, Cecily is determined to knock sense into them. She strikes them down, asking them to give up Charlotte's name and abandon the Empire as it did. Treating Empire, Hyde disrespects the girls willing to fight so desperately for Charlotte. Realizing this, Charlotte breaks into tears. The next day, they see Charlotte and the girls off to the garrison. Before leaving, Charlotte tells Cecily that a man named Siegfried had given them the demon swords and incited them to come after them. Cecily's family has dressed her in a feminine dress since Arya brought up Luke at the table. Now they're attempting to set her up. Shy in her new outfit, Cecily comes across a blacksmith asking her to take Elsa, a black-haired girl with a broken sword, to Luke. Although reluctant and shy, Cecily arrives at Luke's. However, Luke declares the sword is irreparable and has other plans. Surprisingly, he asks Cecily to accompany him while Lisa tries her hand at fixing Elsa's blade. On their way, he confides to Cecily, doubting if Lisa should remain with him. Luke wants to be able to protect her. He brings Cecily to the grave of Lisa Oakwood, his childhood friend. There he explains how he and Lisa wandered into a cave and came across Valbanil. That day, Valbanil killed Lisa. At Luke's, Lisa senses sadness within the blade. Elsa tells her it's used to put a knight to rest by giving them the final blow. Lisa returned the sword, fixing it as much as she could. As Elsa leaves, she comes across Arya making her way to spy on Luke and Cecily. She stops and curiously watches Elsa go. Elsa arrives at a rubbled house. Inside, an injured old knight who has banded together with a mysterious man to avenge his daughter. Elsa asks her if she found Valbanil. Elsa says she has. On their way back, Cecily, flustered, asks Luke if he loves Lisa. He turns around, says he used to, and quietly continues. That night, as Luke and Lisa sit outside, the old knight attacks them with the demon sword of lightning. The man attacks Lisa, saying she's Valbanil, but leaves when his sword doesn't comply. The next day, Arya tells them that the lightning blade is Elsa. She sensed it when she crossed paths with her. Luke explains she should forge the sacred sword to stop Valbanil. At the market, Arya comes across Elsa. She asks her the same question that she asked Yvonne, and is told that the fate of the demon swords is to slay Valbanil. Until then, they serve their master. Luke prepares for the man to return. However, this time he comes with the mysterious cloaked man. The man wields the pitch-black sword that rots everything. While Luke is occupied, the knight attacks Lisa, but Cecily comes in between and combats him, wielding Arya. Arya tries to reason with Elsa, but Elsa is determined to save her master. She transforms back to human and takes the blow for Arya, saving her father from the final blow. As promised, she stabs her father with a knife that puts a knight to rest, and they both die together. As they rejoin Luke, the man, smirking, tells them that Lisa is Valbanil. She's a demon that Luke had created using Lisa to escape Valbanil. Furious, Luke swings at him, revealing him to be Siegfried. He counters back and disappears. Shaking, Cecily asks him if it's true, and it is. Cecily avoids Lisa and Luke, excusing herself from work. At the meeting venue, she stands with security to receive the Empire's diplomats, but is bewildered when Siegfried arrives. Cecily lunges at him, but is held back, yelling that he's the mysterious man. The meeting starts, and Luke puts forward the unfinished sacred sword. The diplomats start insulting Luke shamelessly upon seeing the sword, even dragging his past in between. Enraged, Cecily breaks into a fit and is made to leave. Defeated, she comes to Lisa, apologizing for avoiding her. Cecily maintains that Luke must not have made Lisa a demon, at which Lisa cries, saying she wants to help Luke forever. Hearing this, Cecily realizes something and goes back to the meeting. There, she declares that Luke isn't the one who made Lisa a demon. Instead, Lisa allowed the Devil's contract to protect Luke from Valbanil, just like Luke wanted to protect her, to help him forever. However, Luke maintains to blame himself. Cecily steps up to him, unwrapping the unfinished sword. She reminds him that he's to make the sacred sword not to defeat Valbanil, but to protect Lisa from anyone, even Valbanil. The blade is to be made for love. Siegfried, hearing this, snickers at the statement. Hence, Lisa challenges him to try to break the sword then. To his insult, his blade is sliced in half instead of Luke's, and his face twists into anger. That night, engulfed in rage, he attacks the city. After the meeting, Lisa tells Luke at the bridge that she wishes to stay with him forever. As they talk, a mutant springs out of the water. However, Luke and Cecily control the situation and notice the wafting smoke from the city. The city is covered with mutants and demons attacking civilians. Cecily and Arya immediately leave to assist the soldiers. As they leave, Luke decides to go for Siegfried and gets separated from Lisa. Heartlessly, Siegfried spectates the city burning from a tower. Lisa rushes to Cecily, telling her that Luke went after Siegfried and asking her to find him. As they make their way, they're intercepted by one of Siegfried's minions. Cecily defeats her, however, Arya is too weak and decides to take a break. She gazes at Cecily as she leaves, grateful that she got to be held by a kind soul like Cecily. At the tower, Luke's blade rots on impact with Siegfried's, and he falls injured. However, Cecily arrives in time with Lisa and shields him. Luke yells at her to leave, but Cecily answers that not protecting him would be a disgrace to Lisa's sacrifice. She yells at him to acknowledge what happened and fight. Seeing Cecily's determination, he forges a katana with Lisa and hands it to her. Cecily finally has a katana of her own. Strong-willed and pumped, Cecily goes against Siegfried, slicing his blade in half and striking his heart before her katana snaps. However, Siegfried disappears once again. Luke is healed through Lisa's help, and together they return to the city to cleanse it of the demons, fulfilling the oath of Lisa Oakwood and Cecily Campbell. And that's the end of the video. As always, if you liked what you saw, subscribe to the channel. I'll be uploading a lot of videos just like this, so I'll see you at the next one.